All right, hello. So I'm making this video here just to give you a brief overhaul of how to get familiar with TradingView, how to use TradingView, and how to set it up so you can maximize your potential at being able to read the charts a little better. So this is just based from what I know and what I've learned, and it's just merely here, just basically for your entertainment and hopefully to maybe teach you something. Feel free to read the disclaimer, pause the video, give it a quick look over. So, moving on, we've got TradingView here. So, first off, you want to create an account, obviously. I'd say you probably all know how to do that. So, let's tidy it up a little bit. So, personally, I don't like the grid backgrounds. So, we click on the settings up here, go to Canvas. So, you can choose gradient, you can choose whether you want it left to right or right to left or however the gradient works. Let's have a quick look like that, top to bottom. So I quite like a neutral sort of tone, so we'll keep it neutral, quite bright. Let's make it a solid color just because it's easier, I guess. Okay, so the grid lines, I personally don't particularly like them, so I'm just going to turn them off. Okay, it gives me a bit more of a sort of like reduces the clutter, nice plain background, so I can read it. So the crosshair you can change to any color you want. Again, I'll keep it nice and neutral for myself, and I like a solid line just because then it's easier for me to see. It's up to yourselves. Now you can choose to add a watermark. However, the watermark I don't particularly think is overly great. It just does that, but it's still a watermark if you wish to add one. There is another way to do that. For example, I can show you that really quickly. So if you want to add your own logo, for example, you would come over to here, I believe. Yep. Click on an image, choose an image that you want to add on. Let's add this on. You can change the transparency, just whack it on. There you go. Nice, easy. You can configure it, move it. Up here, let's hide the favorites bar for now. So up here, you can sort of lock it. So as you scroll, it will stay there. It won't stay central to the screen. You'd have to keep unlocking it and moving it to wherever you're looking at. So that's a nice, easy way to add your own custom watermark when you're doing charts, I think. So let's bring back up the settings, go to Canvas. So on the scales, you can choose the colors. Obviously, set them up to how you like. I generally keep that default myself. Navigation pane, top, bottom, right, all that I never bother with. Symbol, so if you want to turn candle borders off, which I personally do, I don't like it. I've reset TradingView to default to run this through to you. So this is how I have it set up. I keep the wicks and the body on. Precision is always default. Time zone, set your own time zone. Now on the status line, that's the top bit up here. So you can deselect the logo if you don't want the logo. You can have the title, obviously select that. Ticker and ticker description. I just keep on description. Open market status. So that's this little blob here. Shows whether it's green if the market's open, red if it's closed. With crypto is always open, so you don't need to worry about that really. OHLC values I turn off, and the bar change values I keep on, as that kind of shows the difference between the bars from the cursors. So for example, from here to there, so 1.7%. You don't need that. Volume you can have tick on, and the last day, yeah, remove the bar change, keep the last change values, and remove volume. Okay, so background doesn't do much. Scales and lines, let's have a quick look. I don't think there's anything really here. So yeah, I turn on the countdown to bar close. So particularly when I'm looking through certain time frames, I like to know how long till that bar's got. Okay. High and low, that's hidden. Bid and ask, that's hidden. All this does, if you're not sure, shows you on the chart the high and low based on the overall zoom out and high and low values look of the chart. So I don't particularly have that on. I don't find value in that. Bid and ask again is the same. Sometimes it will appear, sometimes it won't, depending on the time frame. So I had the day of week on labels, which shows down the bottom. So that shows Saturday, 23rd of March. Today is Monday, 24th of June. Date format set to yourself. Canvas we've covered. Trading. I don't particularly use TradingView to trade. I just use its chart. So generally, just best keep all this off if you're going to do it like that. And events is basically a default. Okay, so once you've saved that, you can apply it as a default. So save as and just do that. So mine currently is crypto. Okay, I've changed the candle colors, make them stand out, but everything else is pretty much the same. As you can see, let me just go through. Is it? Last day change. Yep. State sign symbol. Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's the general cleanup of the clutter. Okay. Let's go for what should we go through now? So yep, if you want to add symbols to watch lists, it's the best way to do it. So take a look through here. So for example, you click on Bitcoin. Let's have a look. Oh, right, now I'm doing it wrong. Great video to show you. So you click the plus up here. So select Bitcoin and then just add it there like that. And it comes up. So you can move it in order. Let me just remove that one because that's Max's. So alerts, these are actually quite useful. So when you're charting, for example, let's take a look. So from the low to the high, let's have a look. Here comes golden pocket around this area. I want to get an alert. So let's sort of get it just before. So click just before the line, add alert, crossing the price range. I'd recommend putting an alert name in because sometimes it can take a while for an alert to trigger. And if you're not actively watching the particular chart that you're setting the alert on, then it might take a minute. So for example, here I'd be looking at taking a long position. So if I type in a possible long position, click create, and there we go. So when that goes off, that will basically pop up on TradingView. My alert will go off and it will tell me that I'm looking at a possible long position here. Okay, and let's set another one under here, and let's name this as a possible short position. Okay, great. So they're both done. Basically, what I'm looking at there is if the let's get the paint tool. So if the price comes down and just dips under, comes back up, that's what I'd be watching for. Okay, and hopefully if there's a retest, then I'd expect it to shoot up. This is not trading advice, basically. This is just an example as to what I'd be looking for when my alert goes off. Okay, so ideally I'd be looking for this first swing trade. Okay, I still wouldn't enter, but then I'd be looking for the retest. So a swing trade into a retest. If the retest bounces off, I'd be looking for a long position. And it would be the same thing for a short position. Okay, so let me just draw that out. So the price comes down. Okay, so it's gone off. I'm looking for the retest and the bounce off from the retest on the short position on this particular chart. Don't take it as training advice, always do your own research. That's what I'd be looking for when I'm setting these alerts up. Okay, so alerts are very useful. You can use them on any chart. Let's have a look at Dogi, for example, very quickly. I've already got stuff up here. Let me just delete that. Oh, would help if I select. So again, it'll be from the low to the high. Okay, so it's not a lot here, but there is, if you look, there's general support. Again, this isn't trading advice. Just having a quick look. So I'd set a support there. That's where it is. What I'll be looking here is to see if it comes back up to here as a possible short. Okay, so let's mark that possible short, create, and then just above I'll be looking for possible long. Okay, so that's how you do your alerts, nice and easily. Same thing, I'll be looking for it to come up, bounce off the 6-6 and come back down for a short position, maybe a little swing trade into the golden pocket. And if it comes above, looking for the retrace and retest, and then looking for a long position. Okay, so that's why I'd recommend naming your alerts. Okay, so another thing I want to go through is the object tree. Now the object tree is great, particularly if you have a lot of indicators. Okay, so I have my own indicator here. Let me just hide this one. Oh, wrong button. There we go. So my own indicator here. I've coded this myself. It goes off the Ichimoku cloud and a couple MAs. That's a different video. But for example, once I'm looking at this chart, I can see that the overall trend is bearish. So I'd be looking for possible short positions. So low to the high. For example, I've starting to build up a couple indicators here. Okay, let's just add another one very quickly. We'll go from the low to the high, high to the low here, for example. So now I'm starting to build up a lot of retracements. If I want to mark, say, let's mark some support and resistance. So there's definitely a bit of support along here. If you have a look, a lot of candles closed there. Okay, and again, sort of, let's have a look down here. So it seems to be pretty tight on resistance around here, so I'll mark that there. So as you can see, like, your chart starts to get messy. The more indicators you've got on, the more things you do, it starts to get messy. So the object tree on the right here, if you right click, for example, selecting left click, you can then right click and create a group. Okay, so for example, you want to rename this one. So you right click, select rename, and I do this as S/R, support resistance, and then same with the fib retracements, create a group, and then just rename, retracements, etc. Hit enter. Right, so once I've kind of got some levels marked out, for example, I can just hide them. Yeah, so rather than removing them completely and having to redo your indicators, if you're happy where they are, you can just group them up and choose to hide them all individually. Same with the support and resistance, you see. So there's another one there. Let's drag and drop that in there and hide it. So my chart's clear again. If my indicator's blocking what I'm trying to view, it's hidden. So I'm back to a default chart. Obviously, as easy as that without having to delete, redraw, etc. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. I'm just going to delete these. Remove. Okay, and let's hide that for now. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Actually, this is the benefit of a watch list. So you can just click so and easily change between whatever you want to look at without having to mess about at the top, manually type everything, so it makes it a little bit quicker. Okay, so that's the kind of basics that you want to understand there. Now, to grow on your horizontal rays, for example, these are really good for marking support and resistance. Let's mark a couple more. So we've got, I'd say, got some good resistance there, and these are just roughly drawn. Say another level around there. Okay, so now your horizontal rays all look the same. However, if you click on one, go to settings, you can rename it. So for this, I'd name it support. You don't have to do that. Text, you can add text in. So if I write in support here, bad spelling there. You can select where you want it, middle, right, for example. For me, puts it right on the end by the bar, so as I move the chart I can always see it. It's not getting hidden by the candlesticks. Okay, so once that's saved and you've got it how you like it, if you click on the templates here, you can save it again. Okay, just type in the name, click save. Okay, I'm not actually going to do it because, as you can see, I've already got it. So this one up here, for example, would be resistance. So if I click that and select my preset, there you go, done. So I can easily see it. Okay, this one as well. This is support. So let's take support. Now I've got a couple, for example, for what I do. So like take profit. So take profit's right in the middle. So if I'm marking out where my profit margins are, do I have one for entry? No, I don't. Okay. I've got one for monthly levels when I want to mark them. I have another for weekly and another for daily. Okay. I've got a fib 382. So for example, when I use the fib retracement templates, it works on everything. So if I put default on there, so the fib 382, let's have a look. It's up there. If I move that up, and for example, I want to look around here. The reason why I have a horizontal ray for that is because the fib retracement can get a little bit messy at times. So if I want to just hide it, for example, I can still see the fib 382 nice and cleanly. Okay. Now the reason why I have a horizontal ray for the 382 and not for the golden pocket is because, for example, on here, if I select a rectangle now, I believe that is, let's have a look, rectangle. Okay, I just draw a rectangle in the golden pocket. Okay, I go to my template and I hit golden pocket. Okay, and then again, I can just hide that. So it's nice and clean. I know the area where I'm looking at. It also allows me to see a lot more once I've drawn my areas out. So make use of your templates. Okay, your templates are really going to save you a lot of time. Let's have a look. So yes, your favorites bar. If you want to get your favorites up, click this little star down here. Brings up a bar that you can overlay. And you've got your favorite indicators that you use. So for example, a trend-based fib extension, and then bring that up. So kind of, again, you're looking around here, 0.618 on a trend-based fib extension. And then if I was to do the fib and then mix that up, so it's nice and easy for when I'm looking at my indicators, you see. So you see that there's confluence. That's going to be a different video. So, and again, with the volume profile, you can kind of see where you go in here. So it's nice and easy. You just select it, click the little star on the end, like that bars pattern, and it adds it up here. And then if you want to remove it, click on it there. Done. Okay, the other thing, you want to have a look at your time frames. Okay, so your time frames, that you like to use. For example, you can do the same thing, just add favorites. Okay, click it, and then you can easily switch between your time frames, nice and easily, no messing about. You can find your monthly levels, you can find your weekly levels. This is how I do it, and you can find your daily levels. Okay. Now, for myself, there's so many indicators out there. People are like, what do I use? Now I've got a couple favorited here, but I never really use them. I don't even know what half of these are. All right, look at that one. Okay, I don't know why I've got that one, but hey. So I do like this one, Vector Candles by Rapid Fire AG. Quick shout out, nice one. And it basically changes my candles. You see. Let me have a look. I think I've got borders up. Symbol, yeah, I do. Turn borders off. There we go. Okay, so it's nice and easy. Just a very quick one. The reason why I like this is because if people like to trade via volume, okay, they like to see how much volume there is, whether it's picking up or stuff like that. Rather than having too many indicators and having the volume showing up, I can actually hide that because I've got it on here. I can use vector candles. These white and grey ones, they're just regular candlesticks. The light blue and the purple. So light blue is increased volume upwards, purple is increased volume downwards. The red is above normal, like really good high volume, okay, going upwards, and the red is really good high volume going downwards, okay. You don't have to use that. I use it because I like to see it visually. It's very good for me. And again, I use my indicator to get an overall feel of the direction of the current trend. Okay. And like my indicator covers a whole different video, which I'll get round to at some point, but that's not this one. So let's keep back on track. So indicators are the same. Going back on track, so you can add them to favorites here, for example. So if I want to apply my template, there you go. There's my indicator and there's the vector candles. Okay, so let me just choose this. I think I should. No, okay, never mind. So make use of your templates. Templates are good. I mean, you can create an alert like this. Again, I don't recommend that. I don't like it. You kind of have to manually input stuff. Just right click where you want it and add an alert. Okay. So I think for now, that should get you on the ground running in setting up your trading view, and hopefully make everything a lot cleaner and a lot clearer for you. I'll just very quickly cover this. I use auto fit stated screen a lot. A lot of people use log. So if I turn the auto off, you can move your map around, and if you want to sort of adjust the price, use your scroll wheel over the price. And again, for dates, if you want to do it that way, zoom in, zoom out. Okay. But I personally prefer using auto. Sometimes you do have to switch to the others. So for example, let's go over this current pattern that's here. Head and shoulders. Everyone's heard about this one right now. Seems to be quite common. Just going to take it from the bottom here down to the peak, back up to the top. Okay, and then come down to the head, back up to the top, I guess, and then I'm expecting it to sort of come back down to about this level, and then there you go. Now what happened here, I've got borders turned off so I can't actually see, but if I just snap it like that, it will show up. Okay. Borders are actually more useful for when drawing it out. Let me make it a bit more transparent, about 20%. Okay, so let's try that again, shall we? So just so you can see how it look on your end when you're drawing it out. So top to bottom, to top to bottom to top, and so head and shoulders right side should be sort of about the same. Okay, so you can see it drawn out nice and easily from there. It's a lot quicker rather than when you can actually see what you're doing. So that's shot right up there. But that's your head and shoulders pattern. Okay. I actually forgot where I was going from here. To mind blank. Sorry. Yeah. No, not templates. I've completely lost my track of thought doing that. But yeah. So yeah, hope that helps. I'll do another video at some point and basically show you some indicators and some good ways to set stuff up. I'll only show the indicators I personally use because there's so many out there, it'd be hard to cover a lot of them. I hope you find just that brief overhaul useful, and I really hope that it helps you out in some way. However, always set it up to what's right for you. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone else's word for it. Have a play, have a look around, and see what's good for you. Anyway, peace out. I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching.